In this episode, we continue exploring the Mississippi River, America's first streaming platform. Today, we visit Memphis and St. Louis, where the stream learned to scale. If New Orleans was the source code, and the Delta was the emotional engine, then Memphis is where the music learned how to travel faster. This is the point on the Mississippi where sound didn't just move with people. It started moving through systems, rails, studios, stages, records. Memphis is the river's spiritual to commercial transfer station. Not the moment music lost its soul, but the moment it realized it could be heard farther. Memphis, where the stream plugged in. Memphis sits at a geographic hinge point between the rural South and the industrial North. It's where Delta migrants arrived carrying blues, gospel, work songs, and church rhythms, and suddenly found mobility. Riverport, rail hub, crowded black neighborhoods with deep musical memory. People didn't just pass through Memphis. They paused, they played, they amplified. Beale Street became a performance corridor, a live, open-air upload point. Music spilling out of clubs, churches, street corners. Electric guitars replacing acoustic ones. The blues getting louder, not softer, in the city. This is where folk music didn't disappear. It plugged in. From porch to pressing plant, Memphis matters because it's where black folk traditions entered mass recording systems. Not cleanly, not fairly, but undeniably. Studios like Sun and later Stax didn't invent this music. They captured what was already moving. Delta blues became electric blues. Gospel phrasing shaped soul vocals. Sacred call and response slipped straight into secular sound. This is the birth moment of early rock and roll, Southern soul, and modern blues, not as genres, but as formats. Music that could be pressed, distributed, broadcast. Memphis is where the Mississippi River learned what a record label was. And then, just upriver, the stream slows down. Not because the music loses energy, but because it gains structure. St. Louis, where the stream learned form. If Memphis is transmission, St. Louis is architecture. This city wasn't just a stop, it was a pause point. Migrants from the South met the Midwest. Black folk traditions met formal music education. Improvisation met composition. St. Louis had something rare in Black America at the time: a strong black middle class with access to training, publishing, and performance halls. This is where the river's sound started to take shape on paper. Ragtime, order, and the birth of song structure. St. Louis is where ragtime flourished, music that swung but counted, that danced but followed form. Scott Joplin and others weren't just entertainers, they were architects of American composition. Sheet music mattered here. So did standardized arrangements. So did repeatable structures. This is where the balance was struck. Freedom inside form. Improvisation inside structure. Urban blues. Early jazz frameworks. The foundations of pop song composition. St. Louis didn't make music less black. It made it portable. Together, Memphis and St. Louis teach the river two essential lessons. In Memphis, music learned how to scale. In St. Louis, it learned how to standardize without suffocating. This is the moment the Mississippi River stops being just a cultural memory carrier and becomes a distribution system. Still human, still communal, still alive, but now repeatable. By the time this sound reaches Chicago, Detroit, New York, it will already know how to survive industry. Because here, between Memphis and St. Louis, the stream learned how to move through America without losing itself. Our next stop is the industrial north, Chicago and Detroit. We hope you're enjoying the Mississippi River, America's first streaming platform. If you enjoyed this episode, follow our podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and YouTube Music. Links to all those platforms can be found on our website at echoesandfootprints.com/echoes-footprints-podcast.